Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're getting ready for our next planetary parade. That's right, we have another planetary parade coming in, and it kind of is a tongue twister on that one, but it's one of those, a lot of scientists are going to call it a planetary alignment because we have these beautiful celestial events that kind of are being able to be observed from Earth. So it's kind of like when we're all on the same side of the sun, and it's one of those, we get this great expansive view, and a lot of times, like, every planet has their own orbit and how fast they're going around and that sort of thing, but a lot of times it'll line up a couple of times a year. So we're kind of getting ready for our second planetary alignment or planetary parade coming in for us. This one is going to be a large one because it's going to be 5 planets. Anything that's 5 or 6 planets is considered a large planetary alignment. 4 planets is a small one, and 3 planets is a mini one. So it's one of those, we're getting ready for our second large one. This is going to be June 17th. We are going to have a large early morning alignment with Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus, and Mercury lined within 90 degree sector of the sky. So it's kind of like a big chunk, but you're going to kind of see them all in there, all kind of lined up. And so this is a really great time to get out. Now, a couple of things that are kind of like, let's go over the basics. So you have got to be away from all light pollution. You have got to kind of get out into the country, far, far away from anybody's lights or anything else as far as you can. The further out you go, the better off you're going to be able to see them. If you have a telescope, you can always add that as well. Kind of the next one is kind of really thinking of like anything that can block your view. Even if you're way out in the country, sometimes because they're going to be right above the horizon line, it's one of those, if there's any trees or any buildings or anything like that, it's going to block your view. So make sure you kind of get out where it's kind of flat in there. And that's kind of a great way to do it. Now, it may be obvious. It's one of those, a lot of times people will think about this ahead of time, but when you're out there looking for them, you kind of forget. So kind of one of the fun ones is planets don't twinkle. They don't sparkle. They don't anything else. Their energy is going to be stable. And so it's one of those, you're going to have it just like a perfect circle out there. A lot of times, like the easiest one is usually Jupiter to kind of see because he's got the big guy and he's always visible kind of right before sunrise. But it's one of those, so make sure that you're doing that. Now, if you have an app that you've been using to kind of like figure out what stars are and where they are. Now, I have my own favorite that I love. And I love kind of looking at the planets and kind of like, where are they? And it'll even tell you like what sign they're in, because they're usually like right next to each other or really close to each other. So that's kind of a really cool one. But I will tell you, it's kind of fun to get out there and take a look at these. Sometimes even on your regular phone, you can get a pretty good picture of all of these planets all in their line, kind of making their little parade. It is a great fun thing to do, especially if you have little ones. It's kind of like a fun thing to do early in the morning with them. This is like an astronomic event where kind of the planets are kind of just like all lined up on the same side of the sun, so it makes it easier to see them. If everybody's on a different side, it doesn't work out as easy. But it's one of those, a lot of times, like everybody has like their own elliptical orbit and how long it takes to get around the sun and that sort of thing. So these alignments usually last a night or two. Sometimes they last a little bit longer because you can see them as they kind of get into alignment and then get out of alignment over the next few days. So it's kind of like this little peak of them. This is a great way to do it. We do have another one coming July 26th, and then we also have one coming up August 24th. So I love these little ones. I love to get out there and kind of check out their energy, and especially kind of figuring out like where they are and what sign they're in can be really fun, not only for you but for everybody else as well. So that's kind of a fun side note for me. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.